Hello, here's a quick little video for you I'm doing on the hoof, so to speak. They're the ones that usually get the most comments. We'll leave it at that. Anyway, we'll carry on. What is it? Pan back. It's an old quill cast mower. 11-inch blade, rotary mower, cylinder mower rather. And I only had it. Well, I got it about 10 minutes ago. It's got all the bits. There's the piece that does the pull start. Someone's used the file handle. Ah dear. But it's all there. And well, it was, but this starting arrangement had gone, and the guy gave it to me. He found the bit, and it's in there. So one of the bolts is missing. Anyway, it all turns. I just thought it was an interesting project. It's about 11-inch blade cut. But what I particularly like, this is perhaps a future project. Just won't turn it round if it shows you. Yes, it does, I think. Is the engine is tilted and the drive is via this tension belt here, and the action of putting your foot on this and pulling this back tilts the engine and gives you drive. But if you wish to disengage drive, you simply put the handles forward, and that tilts the engine forward and so it's easier to start without the blades turning. There's no self-propulsion, you have to push it. So I don't know what year this one is, but should make an interesting future project. We'll leave that to the winter time. I'll find somewhere under the bench to put it. Just to change the subject, a mate of mine who's, well, he's a bit older than me, so he's really past boating now, and sadly a boat he'd had for many years and put his stamp on. He sold to a young guy who promptly destroyed it in a matter of months. And it's ended up in a creek or a rill and will rot in the end and end the end of its days as a wreck. Anyway, I saw my mate over there and he's looking a bit sad at this, and I thought I'd go over and say hi. And he was so disappointed about the way it had all gone. He'd made everything, all the fittings, every fitting you can think of, he made. And here, these were in the bilges, they're all rusty. Here's one I cleaned up. He'd made some little deadeyes. Anybody else would have used rigging screws, jack screws, call them what you will, tensioning, but not my mate. He uses 17th, 18th century means of tightening up the shrouds and so forth. Oh, I think it's wonderful. Anyway, it's going downhill sharpish. And he had an inclinometer on the bulkhead. I said, I'm surprised that hasn't got pinched. He said, oh, I made that at work. He says, you can have it if you want it. And here it is, look. I think it's beautifully made. The angle of so I can get the light right, as the boat heels over, you can read off on this dial around here, which is in 10-degree segments, but it's made of stainless steel, not an easy material to use, but he's gone to a lot of trouble with all this patterning, machining, can't think what you call it nowadays, but he's gone to all this trouble, you know. And all the fittings on his boat were completely his own work. I have to admire people who can do this sort of thing. Any fool can go to a Chandler's and buy something plastic, but I mean, that must have took him several hours. I think that's very nice. Coming back to these just for a moment, for those among you who are not familiar with boating terms. Deadeyes, well, you can see it looks like a skull with a, right, that's where they got the name from. But what you would have two, and this would be fixed to the deck, and this would be a distance up, and you'd have, in this case, a cord going through 3 times through the holes. So you'd have like a pulley, if you like, an extra purchase on pulling on the shrouds that hold the mast up. And this was just a small mast he'd made, a mizzen mast. It was an addition to his boat, one of many. And anyway, something you can't tell from the video is the weight of these things. And I suspect, because this is made of wood, and there's no way you can mark it, and the weight I would suggest is possibly lignum vitae or something similar. What a lot of effort to go to this. This one has got a little band around it. I mean, this will clean up with a wire brush, but you got the idea. And this band is a one-piece strip he's made, and he's welded it and made these. You know, people just tend not to do these things nowadays, do they? Perhaps since I've been retired I'm moving in the wrong circles, but I just don't see it anymore. You haven't got the youngsters coming up and doing this. Yes, I know I'm using a big broad brush, but the video I did recently of all the lovely models at the show, all the engines and so forth, I mean, absolutely beautiful, but when you looked around at who was showing them, they were all old men. You know, it wasn't up and coming young ones. And no, I'm not having a go, but I do find that a bit sad. It's just pride in some of these guys and skills that well, just don't seem to be appreciated nowadays. I dare say I'll get some comments on that. I don't care. I'm thick-skinned enough now. Anyway, that was just a quick little video. I thought you might like to see that. I'll let you know how I get on with the little mower. As I say, that's a future project. I can find somewhere for it to keep nice and warm till I get round to it. Bye for now. Thanks for watching.